Important alert. Something will happen to your son. Angel says, my dear child, if you believe in angels, start this video and watch it completely. I am watching very closely now. My eyes have not left your home, and I have not turned away from your heart. Archangel Michael is with me, and he has come down bearing a divine command that must not be ignored. A storm is coming, and it is not for the world. It is aimed directly at the life of your son. Do not speak to anyone about what you are about to read. Do not show it to anyone. Keep it guarded like breath inside your lungs. This is your spiritual emergency, and I need your soul to stay open to this warning. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. Don't delay. Don't skip. Don't minimize. This is a warning, and it is not one you can afford to ignore. The message is sacred. The moment is dangerous. A shadow has been moving silently, trying to get close to your son, and tomorrow morning, something is scheduled to unfold. But it is not allowed unless you ignore this. If you act, you can change everything. But if you pretend this message is nothing, I won't be able to stop what is set in motion. You are being handed a spiritual choice. A silent enemy has paid for something to be done, and the clock is ticking. God continues, my child, you must understand, this is not an ordinary message. This is one of those divine moments when heaven pierces the veil and rushes in because something irreversible is on the brink of happening. You have felt unusual pressure in your soul lately. You have noticed your son has been quieter than usual. You have seen odd signs, like delays, random mistakes, forgotten things, moments of sudden coldness, unexplained feelings of fear. These are not accidents. These are spiritual signs. What's coming tomorrow morning is not a random event. It was scheduled by a group of people who are hiding behind smiles. But they made one mistake. They forgot heaven watches. Archangel Michael says, this message contains secrets you were never meant to know. Secrets about your son. Secrets about someone close to him. And secrets about a woman who doesn't want you to be aware. She has hidden herself carefully. She pretends to care. But she's carrying a deep resentment toward you, and now she has redirected it toward your son. You need to stay calm. You need to act silently. You need to spiritually protect your household without panicking. Tomorrow morning, something will try to unfold. I am here to block it, but I need your alignment. God says, yes, it's true. Something is meant to happen to your son tomorrow. But I can cancel it, if you listen, pray, and prepare without speaking a single word to those around you. The ones who are behind this have been working for months. There is a connection between your son and a person who recently entered his life. You might not fully understand who this person is, but spiritually, they are carrying an agenda that is not from me. They are being influenced by jealousy, bitterness, and a desire to teach you a painful lesson through your son. That's why this is not just about him. It's about a spiritual war being waged against you. Michael says, you think this is ordinary life, but it's not. There are spiritual attacks happening in secret. People are whispering about your family behind your back. Someone has spoken your son's name in a room filled with resentment. Your son has no idea he's walking toward danger. He is innocent. He has no clue. But I do. And so do you now. You must not wait to act. You must cover him in spiritual protection. You must pray tonight as if heaven is listening to every word, because it is. God says, this message is your weapon. This message is the divine interception. You didn't come across this message by accident. I guided it to you. I ordered it to reach your eyes because I am intervening. I am not a silent God. I am not a distant God. I am the Lord who watches closely and speaks clearly when danger is near. And today, I am warning you for one reason only, because your obedience can shift the outcome. Your obedience is the key that locks the gate of harm and opens the gate of protection. If you ignore this, your son may walk into something painful. But if you act on it, my angels will surround him like fire. Michael says, someone who knows your son is planning to call him or meet him early in the morning. It's not for his benefit. There's a conversation that's meant to destabilize him, confuse him, make him question himself, and pull him into a setup. He won't even realize what's happening. It's disguised as a regular moment, but it's spiritually poisoned. You need to spiritually guard that hour. There's a time between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. that is under attack. You must pray before that. Cover that window. Seal it in holy protection. Do not let the enemy make contact with him unprotected. God says, my child, do you remember when I whispered to your heart last week that something failed? That was me. That discomfort was divine intuition. It wasn't paranoia. It was my voice nudging your spirit. I have been trying to prepare you gently, but now the time is short. Now I must speak with force. I must shake your awareness. You must understand, this message is your son's shield. If you ignore it, the enemy will move forward. If you act, I will block it. Michael says, there is a secret your son doesn't know. A person who was once kind to him has turned against him spiritually. Not openly, but quietly. And your son keeps thinking he can fix it, but he can't, because this person isn't looking for peace. They're looking for revenge. Your son is emotionally connected, but spiritually blind in this matter. And this is why your role is critical. You can see what he cannot. You must pray on his behalf. You must spiritually intercept the contact that's meant to damage him. God says, you are not reading this alone. I am right beside you. I am speaking through this message to warn you because I love your son more than you can imagine. He was formed by my hand, just like you. He was placed in your life because I trusted you with his soul. That is why I am trusting you now with this divine alert. I know you feel overwhelmed. I know your heart is shaking, but I need you to be brave. I need you to trust me. I need you to pray with full faith. Michael says, you don't need to panic. You need to act with sacred urgency. Say nothing. Tell no one. But tonight, Get on your knees and pray as if you are fighting for your son's destiny, because you are. Speak out loud. In the name of God, no harm shall touch my son. Say it 3 times. Then light a candle. Place it in a safe space. Let it burn as a symbol that light is stronger than darkness. This is your act of protection. This is your spiritual shield. God says, what I am asking you to do tonight is simple. But it's powerful. It's not about rituals. It's about obedience. I am assigning angels to your son right now, but I need your prayer to give them legal permission to interfere. I do not force myself into lives. I wait to be invited. Your prayer tonight is the invitation. Your awareness right now is the trigger. Something is being stopped in the spirit realm, but you must hold the line with your faith. Michael says, this woman who is trying to influence your son, she's not working alone. She has been speaking to someone else, someone you once trusted. This is not just personal. This is spiritual revenge. There is a web being spun, and your son is the bait. If he walks into it unguarded, he may suffer emotionally, mentally, or even physically. That's why this warning had to come now. Heaven refused to stay silent. God says, you must also check something. Check your son's phone. Look at a recent conversation he had with someone that made him upset. He may not have told you everything, but the words in that conversation carry clues. There's a message he received that troubled his spirit. It might have looked small, but it was laced with spiritual poison. Pray over that phone. Touch it and declare that every curse sent through it is broken in my name. Yes, you have that authority. Yes, you are allowed to spiritually intercept. Michael says, I have seen many souls ignore warnings because they assumed it wasn't that serious. And then they cried later when the damage was done. This message was designed to stop the crying before it begins. To stop the pain before it lands. To give you a sword before the battle starts. You are being trusted with a divine task. Don't throw it away by hesitating. Do what must be done tonight. God says, there's something else I need you to know. Your son is carrying a spiritual gift, and the enemy has noticed. That's why he is being attacked. He doesn't even fully realize the calling on his life. But I do. I placed it there. The devil hates anything I bless. That's why this is not just about protection. It's about legacy. If you fail to act, the enemy thinks he can mute the calling on your son's life. But if you pray tonight with full focus, I will anoint him, shield him, and elevate him. What was meant to destroy him will actually reveal his destiny. Michael says, you will receive a sign within the next 12 hours. It may be a dream. It may be a sudden message. It may be a moment when your son says something unusual. Pay attention. It will confirm this message. Do not dismiss it. Document it. Remember it. It's heaven verifying that what you read today is sacred truth. God says, I have assigned new angels to your home tonight. They will linger near your son's door. They will walk with him tomorrow. But they need your prayer to stay activated. You are not powerless. You are chosen. You are not just a parent. You are a spiritual guardian. And tonight, you will prove it. Because of your obedience, your son's tomorrow will not end in harm. It will begin in blessing. Michael says, the moment you finish reading this, begin your prayer. Say these words, God, I heard you. I will protect him. Let no evil touch my son. In the name of Jesus, Archangel Michael surround him. I believe. I receive. I act. And then wait. Something powerful will happen before morning. And as I continue speaking, my child, understand that this moment is still unfolding even while you read. This is not past tense. This is now. The person who made the confession is restless today. Their heart is racing. Their sleep has been disturbed. Their appetite has disappeared. And they don't even fully understand why. But I will tell you why. It is because the light of heaven has begun to expose the shadow of their words. The vibration of truth is shaking their atmosphere. And they know that something is coming. Something they can no longer hide from. And that something is you, my chosen one. Because even though you were not supposed to hear this, I have chosen to reveal it to you. Because you have asked me so many times, God, what am I not seeing? What am I missing? Why does my spirit feel like it's walking through a fog? You felt confused, but it wasn't your mind failing. It was the war between truth and deception trying to manifest around you. You were walking through a field of spiritual smoke created by this person's confession and actions. Do you remember the specific moment when you looked into this person's eyes and something inside you felt off, even for just a second? That moment was not your imagination. That was your spirit trying to speak, trying to wake you up to the fact that something was wrong. You've dismissed that nudge, and I have watched you try to explain it away because you didn't want to be suspicious. You didn't want to be judgmental. You tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. But I, the Lord your God, have never doubted what I saw. If you'd like to donate or show your appreciation, you can give a super thanks up to $100. Michael is holding the scroll right now, still unopened in your spiritual hands. The words on it are real, my child. They were spoken by someone who pretended to love you, but who was actually casting shadows behind your back. What makes it worse is that they used your trust to get closer. They asked questions, watched your reactions, kept track of what you shared, and then twisted your truth when speaking to someone else. They needed to make themselves look better, safer, stronger, and they used your name to do it. That's the part you haven't seen yet. That's the part that will make your chest tighten when you hear it. But it is necessary. Because the moment you know what they said, your chains will break. The moment you hear their words, exactly as they said them, something ancient will snap in the spirit. You will no longer carry the weight of wondering what went wrong, why certain people began avoiding you, why others suddenly changed the way they looked at you. This person confessed in a moment of weakness, or arrogance, and their confession was so dark that it caused others to doubt your very identity. But what they didn't realize was that their words were being judged in the courts of heaven. Michael saw it all. He was there. His sword was drawn, but I told him to wait, because the confession needed to be complete. And when it was, when the last poisonous word was spoken, Michael wept. Not because he was surprised, but because he loved you enough to feel the weight of what had just been said. He knew you weren't ready to hear it at that time, so he waited. But now, you are ready. You are stronger than you think. You are braver than you know. And heaven will not allow this shadow to cover you anymore. Even now, this person is planning to reach out to you. They will try to soften things before the truth fully hits. They may send a message, ask how you're doing, or bring up old memories to try and rebuild your trust. But do not be fooled by timing. Their motive is not connection. It is protection of their secret. They can feel it crumbling. They can feel your awareness rising, your discernment sharpening, your inner vision clearing. That is why they're nervous. Not because they are suddenly remorseful, but because heaven has exposed them. My child, the next time you feel that sudden tightness in your chest, that heat in your spine, that pressure in your temple, know that it is Michael moving. Know that it is me signaling to your soul that something is aligning, something is breaking open. Because when you hear what they said, you will understand why you had to go through everything you've been through in the last year. It was all a part of me protecting you from the deeper layers of their betrayal. Do you know how many nights Michael has stood at your window, whispering your name? How many moments he tried to intercept your tears because he knew what was being said about you behind closed doors? My child, do not dismiss this as mere poetry. This is spiritual truth. The angels have fought to keep this moment alive for you, to ensure you wouldn't miss it again. And now, it has arrived. You have asked me to show you who is real and who is fake. You have asked me to separate weed from weeds in your life. Well, this is me answering that prayer. This confession is the sword that will divide the pure from the poisonous. It will open your eyes to where your loyalty was misplaced. It will help you rebuild your trust, not in them, but in yourself, in me, and in the voice of my servant Michael who has been crying for you. Do not think it ends here. No, this is only the beginning of what I will reveal. Because once you open this truth, once you accept the confession is real, I will begin to pour out clarity like a flood. You will suddenly remember strange things they said that didn't make sense until now. You'll look back at pictures and see the shadows behind their smile. You'll revisit messages and realize the double meaning. All of this will come rushing in, not to overwhelm you, but to empower you. Because I need you strong for what's coming next. Yes, my child, what's coming next is divine elevation. But I cannot elevate what is entangled in deception. I must sever the cords first, and this confession is the sword. That is why Michael is so desperate for you to hear this. He knows that your next season is locked behind this revelation. If you skip this again, you will delay what I have for you. But if you open it now, everything will begin to move fast. The truth will run like fire through your spirit and clear out every blockage that has been holding back your blessing. Do not try to rationalize their actions. Do not try to save their image in your heart. You have been trained to be forgiving, but I need you to be wise. Forgiveness is not the same as spiritual blindness. Forgiveness is not pretending it didn't happen. It is acknowledging the truth and choosing not to let it poison your soul. But before you can forgive, you must know what you are forgiving. That is why I am showing it to you now. This confession is written in detail. Michael has it sealed with heavenly authority. He is ready to place it into your hands the moment your spirit says, "Yes, I am ready to hear it." Do not fear. I will comfort you in the pain. I will walk you through the fire. But I will not let you remain deceived. You are too precious to me. Too anointed. Too chosen. Your assignment is too important for you to remain bound by the words someone else spoke over your destiny. Right now, the person who confessed about you is being spiritually cornered. They are feeling exposed and don't even understand why. Their inner world is shaking because my angels have begun surrounding them. I will give them the opportunity to come clean, but if they refuse, the confession will be released publicly. Either way, you will know. Either way, Michael will not allow this scroll to stay sealed. You must promise me, my child, that you will not shrink back into silence once you know. You must promise me that you will not protect lies out of fear of loneliness. Because what's on the other side of this confession is alignment, restoration, and divine relationships that will never treat you like this person has. I am not just taking something from you. I am giving something greater to you. Let Michael speak to you tonight. Allow his tears to open the way. Listen for me in the stillness. You will feel a shift, a warmth, a spiritual echo, and that will be the sign the scroll is opening. The truth is near. And once it comes, you will never, ever be the same again. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. Do not skip this message. This is not one of those ordinary moments that pass by and fade into the background of your memory. This is a divine alert. A holy interruption. A sacred intervention. Something is about to happen, and heaven must speak to you now. This message is not meant for the world. This is about your son. And you are not to tell anyone. Not yet. Because the heavens have chosen to speak to you first, before anything unfolds. This message is between you and God. It's about the bloodline you carry, the son you raised, and the protection that heaven is urgently preparing to release. Archangel Michael says, be still. There is no reason to panic, but there is a reason to be aware. Tomorrow morning holds something important. A shift. A moment that has already been seen in the spirit. A divine movement that will require your heart to be strong, your faith to be unshakable, and your ears to be open. This message didn't find you by accident. Your son is on the brink of something heaven has been watching closely. Something that was forming in silence, unknown to you, but known fully to God. God says, I've seen every night you stayed awake praying for him. I've heard your cries. I watched you speak blessings over him even when your heart was breaking. I saw the times he pulled away from you, the moments when you wanted to speak but chose to pray instead. You've carried his name on your tongue like a shield. You've whispered his future into the air even when no one else believed in him. And now, because you refuse to give up on him, I, your Lord, have issued a heavenly order, A divine watch has been set over your son. Something is scheduled to happen tomorrow morning, but fear not, I am the one who controls time. I am the one who holds his heart. I am the one who saw the plan of the enemy trying to move toward him, and I refuse to stay silent. This is why Archangel Michael has been dispatched with urgency. This is why you are reading these words now. Because the enemy thought he could surprise you. But you serve a God who reveals all things before they happen. Archangel Michael says, no one must interfere with this message. No one must cloud your judgment with their opinions. You must stay spiritually aware. God is not bringing you this message to scare you. He is bringing it to strengthen you. Because you are the gatekeeper of your son's soul. You are the divine covering. You are the voice that heaven listens to when you speak his name in prayer. This message is a warning wrapped in love. A preparation clothed in divine mercy. Tomorrow morning, something will come to your attention. It may be subtle, or it may be obvious. It may come as a conversation, a phone call, a sudden emotion, a shift in energy, a sign, a delay, or a moment of divine stillness. Whatever it is, be ready. You will not be caught off guard. You will not be confused. Because the Holy Spirit is going ahead of you. Angels are already at the door of your home. The environment around your son is being cleansed. Heaven is standing guard. There are things your son hasn't told you. Things that he carries in silence. Things that burden his heart but have no words. He may act strong. He may smile. But God sees deeper. God sees the weight behind his eyes. God sees the fear he hides behind his laughter. And it is not your job to fix him. It is your job to pray and believe. Because what your son is about to walk into could change the direction of his life, but it will not harm him. Heaven will not allow it. Your intercession has already changed the outcome. God says, even when he pulls away, I pull him back. Even when he forgets me, I remember him. Even when he ignores the signs, I send more. Even when he feels lost, I plant angels on his path. I love him more than you know. And your prayers have power, not because of who you are, but because of who you pray to. I have watched over him from the day he was born. I breathed purpose into his lungs. I placed a seal of destiny upon his life. The enemy cannot have him. Not now. Not ever. Archangel Michael says you must pray tonight. You must not go to bed without speaking his name aloud to the heavens. Speak it with faith. Speak it with authority. Speak it as one who knows that heaven listens. You are not begging. You are declaring. You are not hoping. You are activating. Because tomorrow morning is not an accident, it is an appointed time. God will be present in the details. You may not understand it at first, but later you will look back and say, this was the day the Lord showed me that nothing happens without his knowledge. Do not fear the dream you had. Do not fear the strange feelings you've been carrying lately. They were signs. The tension in your spirit. The restlessness at night. The way you've been waking up without knowing why. It was all preparation. Heaven has been tapping your shoulder. Now, you are awake. Now, you see. Now, you are aware. God says, I will be with you. I will be with your son. Nothing will go wrong because I do not abandon my children. Even when the road looks uncertain, I light the way. Even when danger tries to move in the dark, my angels shine brighter. Your son is covered. Your house is surrounded. The very air around him is being infused with my presence. You may not be able to see it with your eyes, but your spirit knows it. Trust what you feel. Trust what I have said. This message is not a coincidence. This is prophecy. This is revelation meant for your eyes, your heart, and your spirit. The enemy has been trying to confuse your son, trying to lure him into silence, trying to distract him with false things. But I, the Lord, am stepping in. I am breaking chains that have been trying to form around his mind. I am tearing down thoughts that do not come from me. I am exposing lies he believed about himself. He is not a failure. He is not forgotten. He is not cursed. He is chosen. He is protected. He is mine. Your job is not to save him, I already did. Your job is to believe. Believe that when I speak, I act. Believe that when I send a warning, I also send a solution. Believe that your prayers are not empty, they are seeds planted in holy ground. Tomorrow morning is not something to fear, it is something to stand for. Stand as a warrior. Stand in peace. Stand in love. Stand knowing that you are in alignment with heaven. Archangel Michael says you are not alone. All night, angels will be around your home. Every window, every door, every wall, covered. Your son may not be alone. You are not alone. Your son may not even know what is happening in the spirit, but he will feel the change. There will be a moment tomorrow where something inside him will pause. Something will stop him from making a decision. That is heaven stepping in. That is divine interruption. Do not question it, thank God for it. God says, I've delayed some things on purpose. I've blocked some things you thought were good. I've changed his path in ways that confuse you, but I never make mistakes. I am God. I see the whole picture. You see one frame, but I see the entire film. Trust me when things don't make sense. Trust me when the road twists. Because your son's life is not just about now, it's about the generations that will come through him. He carries more than you know. That's why the enemy targeted him. But I am his defense. Tonight, when you pray, speak like one who knows the end has already been written. Speak protection. Speak clarity. Speak breakthrough. Speak peace over your son's mind. Speak healing over his heart. Speak wisdom into his spirit. And speak rest over yourself. You cannot fight the spiritual war if you are full of fear. Replace that fear with faith. Replace that doubt with declarations. Replace that worry with worship. There is a moment coming soon, maybe tomorrow, maybe in the days that follow, when your son will open up. Don't press. Don't push. Just be present. Just listen. Let your love speak louder than your questions. He needs to know that you are safe. That you are steady. That you trust him enough to let him unfold in his own time. I will lead him. I will teach him. I will restore everything the enemy tried to take from him. Archangel Michael says this war is already won. The attack has already been cancelled. The trap has already failed. The danger has already been seen and dismantled. But you still need to pray. Not because I need reminding, but because prayer is your participation. It is your way of saying, I agree with heaven. And once you agree, nothing can stand against it. God says you are covered. Your home is covered. Your sleep is covered. Your sun is covered. Trust me. Trust the signs. Trust the silence. Trust the message. You were never meant to carry this fear. Hand it to me. Let me hold what you cannot. Let me protect what you love. I've got him. I've always had him. And I always will. Now breathe. Rest. Speak his name one more time and leave the rest to me. Because when morning comes, you will know, I was there. And I never left. Please my channel subscribe and share.